Raphael Gilberts. Welcome to my live call from my gym in my home. And it comes with a question: what do you do when you don't have a story of success? I'm going to talk about that. For those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing over 40 years. I share a lot of what I've learned in my journey on these live calls. I started in this business totally broke, sold a junk truck to get started, put $200 into my business. Last 28 years, I've been full-time in network marketing. Love it. If you have to work, there's no place like home. And I'm going to acknowledge some great people joining. Jeanette, how are you? Good morning, sir, she says. That means she's from the Philippines. If it's morning and she says, sir, they're always so respectful. I love Filipinos. Welcome to the call, George in New York City. Rocio in California, what's up? Tonight is Q&A night, by the way, so if you have a question, put it in your comments and George will screenshot it and send it to me. And yeah, here we go. I'm just going back there again. Yeah, so good. I have two right now in the stream. Yeah. And Delroy, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing well. Forgot where you're from, but good to see you on the call. You can say where you are unless you're hiding from somebody. I understand if you are. Terry, how are you? Nice to see you. Talk about mindset. What if you lost your mind, though? Hey, I gotta find my mind first. Yeah, sure, we can talk about that. That's right. Q&A night. That's right, Friday night. So, been working out and then got out of the sauna in the back, and now I'm ready to go, man. And Gene, nice to see you. How are you? And who else is going to come out of the shadows and say who you are, where you're from? Don't be shy. You can't be shy and make it in network marketing. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, oops. How did I do that? I did that wrong. Okay. Yeah, now I lost my... Okay, got to go back there. There we go. Okay, good. Yeah, so, hey, Lisa in Florida. Nice to see you, Lisa. And Andrina, how are you? Good. I'm glad you are still accelerating. And Delroy from, oh yeah, the UK. There you go. There you go. Well, you know, I tell you what, I feel for you, man. What is it, your prime minister has locked you guys down again. And Jessica in Alberta, Canada, nice to see you. Heidi in New Brunswick, Canada. Hey. It's been a while. You know, I remember going through St. John, New Brunswick when I was so tired. I was out doing meetings in Nova Scotia and I was going through there and through St. John, and this guy was flagging me, and you know, and he said, "Hey man, you're going the wrong way. This is a one-way." Well, I thought, well, I am going one way. He was trying to tell me I'm going the wrong way. Larry in Ohio, nice to see you. Thank you. And Rance, Alenia, nice to see you. Good. So again, this is Q&A night. So if you have a question, just write it in your comments and George will screenshot it and send it to me. So let's get right into it. Flavio from the country of Ecuador, he asks a question, and I base this video on this question because usually I do that. When I see a question post, somebody's question, then I'll usually give a theme to this video around that question. So he says, how do you create a story if you've been in for several years without results and you have already decided to start to reach the upper ranks? Well, I did send him a qualifying question to his question, which was, you decided to start or did you reach a rank? So why don't we go with both scenarios? Since he didn't answer me, he probably hasn't seen it. So let's go with you decided to start. See, here's what we have to understand with your story. Some get really bummed out, they get discouraged and want to give up when they've been in the valley too long. You can't appreciate the pinnacle, reaching the peak, without having a contrast. It's just like a canvas. Why do all canvases come white before a painter paints on a canvas? Because there has to be a contrast. And the first paints he's going to use is not going to be white because there wouldn't be a contrast. But you have to have a contrast to appreciate what you have, or you'll never appreciate it. And so some of us, we go through the school of hard knocks and we go through a lot of disappointments. But when we start having achievements, man, do we appreciate what we've accomplished. Had we not had that contrast, we would never, ever appreciate it. If it was all so easy, we would never appreciate what we have. Now, again, having said that, there's a certain amount of time. I'm not saying stay in the valley for years. Don't do that. I want you to get out of there as soon as you can. And it's going to be a step at a time, a climb at a time. And I remember one time when I was in British Columbia and I was by myself and I was hiking up, up this mountain, and just when I reached what I thought was the peak, there was more left. And when I reached another section, I thought, okay, this is it. No, there's more left. So the thing is, understand this, that what's going to make your story so attractive is going to be the valley. It's not going to be the peak. Sure, people are going to want to, know that, yeah, you did have some success in your business. You are experiencing success. But what's going to be more important to those people is knowing your struggles. They need to know the struggles. They need to know that, because too many people make it so, or they give the appearance that network marketing is so easy. To create a six-figure income, it is so easy. I mean, they're like, when someone joins, oh, you're going to love this, boy, we're going to have some fun. You are going to be successful. You're going to reach your dreams, get the house that you've always dreamed of, the car you've always dreamed of. They sell the sunshine. They're blowing the sunshine in their face, but they're never preparing them for the valley. And then later on, you see that same person saying, I wonder why she quit. Well, it's because you never prepared her for the valley. She thought it was going to be so easy. You sold the sunshine. You didn't sell the rain. You should have sold the rain too. And say, look, this is not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And I always say that to people that, like, okay, you came out of the job market, or you've been in the job market and you don't like your job, you don't like what what it's costing you in terms of time. It's a struggle, or you don't see the family as much. You'd rather have mom care instead of daycare. I get that. That's not easy. But don't come over here and expect easy. You stayed with that for years. For years. When it wasn't easy. Don't come over here and work a month and expect it to be easy money. And it doesn't take the effort, and it's not going to be hard. You're doggone right it's going to be hard. I can't believe it. But it's going to be worth it. See, that's what I really sell after that. It's going to be worth it. Over there, that never changes. You're never going to own it, and you're always going to hate it, and you're going to do it until you die. You'll never have a life. Over here, this won't be easy. It'll be worth it. Because if you stay with it, if you hang in when you're in the valley, or like King David said, in the valley of the shadow of death, and you keep climbing, that's why my book is called Reaching the Peak. That's on Amazon, Reaching the Peak. You keep climbing that peak, you get out of there. You own that. That's yours. That's residual income. So going back to Flavio, when you talk about your story and you said, I decided to start to reach upper ranks. Okay. That's an important statement, because a lot of people, when they join a network marketing company, and this is what the hecklers don't get, most people will join just because they like a product. They think that they should be earning an income because they're enjoying that product. But that's not, most people don't join that way. They join because they were introduced to a product. Then they got passionate about the product. Then when they understood there was a business opportunity, wow, that's when they decided to engage. And for some people, that might take 6 months, a year, years. So back to your question, Flavio, your story begins when you start doing the business correctly. When you started to do the business and when you started to do it correctly. Let me explain. Started to do the business. You've been in your XYZ company for 2 years, but you've never engaged in the business. Where does your story begin? When you started consuming the product? No, that's not a story. The story is about your journey in network marketing. So it begins when you made a decision to do the business. So if you did that yesterday and you've been in your company 2 years, your story began yesterday. Now, having said that, it's very important that you do it correctly. You do it correctly. So if you go on your Facebook page and you plaster it every day with pictures of your products and why your products are so great and this is what you're doing, that is not correct. That is not the correct way. You will fail. You will be in the shadow of the valley of death, as David talked about. And you're not going to like it. You're going to be there longer than you should until you learn how to do it correctly. Then you're going to climb out of it and reach the peak. So that follows up with the rest of what you said when you decided to reach the upper ranks. All right, so that's the thing. It's when you decided to do the business and you're doing it correctly. And you have to get up with your sponsor, and hopefully you got a competent sponsor. If you don't, reach out to me. I'll help you. I help people. Okay, so, and then let's go to, and by the way, for those of you that just joined, if you have a question, this is Q&A night. Hey, one other thing before I leave that story. While you're in the shadow, in the valley of the shadow of death, you know, you're trying to get this going, borrow someone else's story. See, too many people think that, you know, they focus on their story. But how many of you remember show and tell in kindergarten? You remember when you went into the class, maybe you brought out a frog and said, "This is Kermit the Frog. I've had Kermit for 2 years. Kermit likes flies. So I go around with a net and try to catch them. And I feed Kermit flies every day. I love my frog. And all the classes go, man, this is cool, this is cool. Okay? If you have a kindergarten education, you can do network marketing. It's called show and tell. You know, I just got going in this business, made a decision to do it. So, you know, I'm just getting it off the ground. But, you know, the person I'm working with has been, that's my sponsor. They've been in now 3 years, and you're telling their story, or you're getting them on a three-way call. Hey, I want to introduce you to someone in what we call an upline, my sponsor, who's been in 3 years. When someone asks me, well, how much money are you making? Well, I just recently decided to do the business, so I'm just getting it going. But is your question, is there money being made? Yeah, good. Well, yeah, here's what I'd like to do. Let me send you some information, and I'll introduce you to someone who's been in for a few years. And I think you'll like the answer when you hear their story. So that's borrowing strength. Borrowing strength. When you don't have strength, you borrow strength. When you don't have a story, you borrow a story. And that's what we are. We're storytellers. Now, some call us dealers of hope. Okay. What would you rather us be? Dealers of hopelessness? So yes, there is a lot of hope. Network marketing, there's a lot of people that, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people out there that are full-time in the network marketing profession in many different countries. In the United States, over 10 million are involved. So yeah, I like that. Dealers of hope. Yep. Rather that than be hopeless. So Jessica asks a question. I currently left, my questions on your Facebook story. I'll leave them here. What is the best way to prepare yourself for a Zoom presentation for your prospects? How to present yourself in a confident, motivational manner. Also, how do you show up as a leader and demonstrate yourself to others? Okay, so here, good questions, Jessica. Very good questions. Here's what you need to do if you're talking about, because you use the plural word prospects. Amen, nice to see you. You use the word prospects, plural. So I'm trying to understand, are you talking about doing a presentation, like a presentation to a group? If you're going to do that, then what you should have is a PowerPoint prepared and maybe possibly a video. And your upline could help you with that. Or you could also talk to your upline and go to one of their presentations that they do on Zoom and see if you're comfortable with that presentation. If it's congruent with your values. If it's congruent with your values and you think it's a good presentation, just save yourself the trouble and invite your prospects to that. But on the other hand, if you're just going to do a one-on-one with somebody, if you're going to do a one-on-one, then going back to the B part of your question, how do you show up as a leader and demonstrate yourself to others? Well, the important thing is just being prepared. Being prepared. You can have an outline or bullets in front of you that they'll never see, that's under your iPad or whatever you're using, computer, and you can refer to that in your presentation. But I think you need to get a few I guess part of your presentation where it comes out naturally. You're not really thinking about it, and I think that's the most important thing. Here's the thing: speak from the heart. When you speak from the mind, ego takes over, and then you're going to do things later you'll regret because you're going to try to do it perfectly. When you are instantaneous or spontaneous, that is you. That's who you are. They're seeing who you are, and that's coming from the heart. But ego, in our minds, it wants us to do things perfectly. We're concerned about how people view us. We're being careful about our words. It's more canned. It doesn't sell. It doesn't sell. What sells is what comes from the heart. So keep that in mind. So But yeah, so PowerPoint videos, if you're doing a presentation to the group, the great thing about that is you're using a tool. You're using a tool, which is really great. Because keep in mind, this is not entertainment. This is not entertainment. You've invited them to a presentation. They just want to get the facts, assimilate the facts, and you want to present it in a way that would be appealing to them, and maybe have some convincing stories along with it. But check out some of your upline and see how they're doing on their Zoom presentations, and let me know how that goes for you. And so now I'm going to go to, if you have a question, feel free to post it. Oh, that water's so good. I was in that sauna and I sweated out, man. Anyway, okay. So George, now you can post it here, and then I'll do my best to try to answer your question. And then Andrina, boy, she's so sweet. She always asks good questions. Hello, Andrina. In Texas, Jeff, I find myself obsessing over the business lately. Like I said, acceleration. I have been forgetting to take care of my home. How to handle that situation? Okay, so so I read a little bit into it. How does your husband feel about it? If you want to make a comment, you can. I think it's very important when you're married and you have a family on top of that. I mean, children, and you've made a serious commitment to getting your business going. You want to go. You're trying to leave, and sounds like Andrina here. She's wanting to go from hobbyist to a professional. Hobbyist to a professional. I can tell you, my first 14 years in network marketing, I was a hobbyist. I liked it. I played with it. I see. Okay, thank you, Andrina. But anyway, so when it was a hobby, I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing presentations. I enjoyed the side income. It was great. But when I lost my main business, and I went into bankruptcy, I wasn't going to be a hobbyist. I was going to be totally focused. So a totally different person shows up when that happens. A totally different person. So okay. So, and as she said, he helps out a lot, but when he works, it's hard. Okay. So, and you got beautiful daughters, Andrina, just beautiful kids. You know, the thing is, you do what you can. Try to get also the family to help out. So if it's the children, maybe are there chores that they can do, at their age that they're capable of doing, and maybe assign certain chores in the house for them to do. That's less work for you. And even your husband, he might be willing to do that. He looks like a great guy. I saw a picture of you two the other day, man. You guys are Hollywood. You're beautiful. So maybe he'll help out. But there's no question about it that when you're focused on your business, and I did a live call sometime back, and it said, do you want to earn $10,000 a month? This is how. And in the live, what I was saying is, divide 40 hours into that. What does it come to? That's what your hour is worth. Start treating it with that value now. Because you're never going to get to $10,000 a month if you don't. So even my wife, when she comes and asked me to do something that someone else could do, I'd say, yeah, I'd like to help out with that, but you know what that would cost me if I did that? What gets interesting is when your income really starts climbing and you divide 40 hours a week into it. And then you got a different value for that time. Let me tell you, that's how wealthy people think. So the thing is, I would say, Andrina, just find the balance. There's going to be time to work, and then there's going to be time to do housework. And time for your family, time to enjoy, the more important things, which are your marriage and your kids. You'll find it. You'll find it. Don't get, I understand the frustration. I really do. And, but, the good thing is now you're going from hobbyist to professional. Feel good about that. And here's the thing, that when you do work your business, just work it. Work it. And the way you talk to people, they're going to sense that you're a very serious person. They'll pay attention to you. That's part of the mental posture you need to have as a professional. But reach out to me later on, and I'd certainly help you. You're awesome. So let's see. Let me see where. Okay. So TJ in Oklahoma. I met TJ at Ray Higdon's Rank Maker event. Awesome person. She says, what do you suggest if your spouse is or has been sabotaging your business? Oh my gosh. I need to go from water to beer if I'm going to answer that question. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, so here's this. I'm going from my, there's Eden. She's thinking that's funny. How you doing, Eden? Eden will say a glass of wine. No, that's going to be beer. I promise you. Okay, so immediately what comes out of me spontaneously is he wants your attention. He's in love with you. And, I sense that when I met you guys at Rank Makers, because TJ, she does have some health issues. And her husband has really been there. He's been very, she says, and controlling. And part of that is probably the fear of some of your blackouts that you've had. You could black out and fall and really hurt yourself. You could kill yourself. So I would imagine he's pretty, very worried. So, and maybe he doesn't want to see you get stressed either, if you've been stressing about your business. I really see a lot of that. Instead of looking at it as he's against me, I really think it's the opposite. He really loves you very much, and I could sense that too when you two were together. His care for you. So, so what I would do is try to feel positive about it and talk to him about it, and tell him how you value it, what he's been doing for you. Share that with him. But then at the same time, share with him what you want to do and say, can you help me do that? Can you help me do that? Well, that's what he's been doing for years, is helping you. But now you want some help in this area. So honey, can you help me with that? I know you're doing this because you're concerned about me, and I appreciate that. You're such a great husband. But could you what in the world? Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. All right, hang on. That's the first time I have ever seen a mouse go by my feet. I didn't know I had mice in my gym. He went in the bathroom and I closed the door. I will deal with you later. Oh, that's crazy. All right. So do that, TJ. See if he will help you. That's what happens when you live in the mountains in the country. I felt something, go right by my feet. And I thought, what the heck is... Okay. Try that. Okay, now. Okay. What does Ray say? Move forward imperfectly. Oh, now I got... let me see. I did answer that. And then... Yeah, so, and so Jessica asked the question, how much money do you make? If somebody asks you, how much money do you make? sometimes that's just their way of saying to you, I don't believe your business works. I don't believe you're making money. And that's the reason why I'm asking the question. And you're going to give me exactly what I think you're going to give me. But I don't give them that. Again, I'll in your case, Jessica, because I know you just got started in your network marketing business. Again, the response would be, you know what? That's a good question. I just really got started in this business, so I'm just getting it going. I mean, it's sort of like somebody opens up a shop. They just got it open. They got all their goods, their inventory in place and all that. At what point is that thing going to be in profit? Might take years. Mine won't take years because I don't have inventory. That's the beauty of my business. But let me ask you this. Your question is money being made here? Are there people making money? And if the answer is yes, if they say, well, give them, is your question, is money being made here? Are people making money? Is that your question? Or is it just me? No, people making money? Good question. Good question. I'd like to introduce you to some people who've been in for a while. They'll share with you what's been happening with them, and if it's something that interests you, great. And if it's not, it's cool. It's no problem. You always leave them a door out. Okay, so now going back here. All right, and then we have, who do we have? Anyone else, or was that it? Oh, that's it. That's it, George. No more questions. Okay. Well, it's been fun. Spending Friday night with you guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope everything's going well with you in what you're doing. Okay, TJ, you do that. And everyone, just here's the thing. By the way, my last live I did it on the importance of conversations, and I challenged you to to go into your friends list or your friends network in Facebook and start sending out 10 messages a day. I mean voice messages to them to see how they're doing. Look at the history of your previous conversations. Refer to anything that might be pertinent in that, say, whatever it is. And so just say, hey, we haven't talked in a while. We haven't messaged in a while. I can't believe it. I just want to see how you're doing. Get the conversation going. I'm not talking about building endless rapport, but I'm telling you, if you don't start having conversations with people, how are you ever going to build a team? I'm serious, people think it's all about, just Facebook messaging and attraction marketing, and come on, you got to have a conversation with somebody. You got to develop a relationship. So try that, do that, and let me know how that's going with you, okay? So if you didn't see that Facebook Live, that was on Wednesday. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll put out some value this weekend. I love all you guys. Have a great evening.